Here on the deck, we are grilling out with half of the Mad Dog Merrill team, Gary Merrill. Great to see you.
Good to see you. Good to be here today. I'll tell you, a wonderful day.
Steaks on the grill.
Steaks on the grill. You know, everybody has their own theory of how to do steaks. I'm going to show you a couple different ways.
Okay.
But normally when I do the steaks, I like to let them sit out for about 25-30 minutes. You know,
before you grill them.
Before I grill them. Some people will say, well, I really want to take out of the refrigerator, you know, and throw them on there cold. But I like to let them rest. A couple things you can do.
And you know why you do that too? Because then you're going to get a good sear on them.
Right, exactly.
You know, if you take them out ice cold, you're not going to get that, you know, and they do that at the fancy steakhouses.
Yep.
So, yeah,
well, I'm not as fancy as them.
Oh, you're fancy. Okay. You're fancy.
You know, a couple things you can do. A lot of times I like rubbing a little bit of olive oil on there and then go ahead and season it. You can do your own type of rub. Obviously, we got our Grandma Hazel's, but you can use any type of rub. I mean, really go to the spice cabinet. You know, I'm not really trying to push our product, but it's like, hey, if you got garlic up there, you know, and if you got some onion powder, maybe even some ginger. Really, one of my favorites is a mixture of ginger and curry together.
Ooh.
Believe it or not. It's got a little kick to it and everything. But today I'm doing something a little bit different. First of all, I'm going to show you the... you know what, I'm going to go with the bourbon first.
And I noticed too, right away, I noticed it's a different cut of steak. I've done a lot of New York strips and beef tenderloin and, you know, ribeye, but this is a fun one. This is something I haven't done in a while.
We're more talking about the porterhouse, the T-bones. Usually the porterhouse will have more of a meat completely over here. This is more on the T-bone.
So this is like the New York strip here and a little bit of filet here.
You got it. So very easy, but I'm going to do what I like, and I've done it several times really on Fox 11 in the morning, but I just love it. I really like this. It's a bourbon steak. You know, if you don't like bourbon, you do not have to use bourbon at all. I've used anything from coffee to tea instead. But the bourbon, you're not going to taste the alcohol on it, and the alcohol is actually going to burn off. But it's very simple, and you can increase it in size, but pretty much everything is a quarter cup.
Okay.
Now, I got a quarter cup of bourbon, maybe a little bit longer there. You know me.
A quarter cup brown sugar.
Quarter cup of brown sugar.
Okay.
It calls for, if you like, some oil, if you could hold that open.
I would be
there
happy
again,
to.
I like using olive oil on there. It just gives it a good flavor. Now, actually, with all the good flavored olive oils out there, you can do whatever you like. You know, there's even some chipotle olive oils that would spice it up a little bit.
So
now, if you wanted
this
to,
together, right?
Yeah. Now, if you wanted to, I'm not going to do it, but a lot of times I'll do pepper steak. I'll put jalapeno peppers in there to spice it up a little bit with the seeds on.
Do you want this baby in here?
Yeah, put that baby in there.
So let that marinate with the brown sugar.
Right.
About
with
how
the brown
long?
sugar. You know, you could go maybe an hour, 4 to 6 hours at the most. A lot of times that they do that. But that is basically it. Now, one thing I am going to put in there, though, also, too, you could use mustard. Now, I'm going to use our WLUK because that does have the kraut, the onions, you know, the ketchup, and the mustard on there. But regular Dijon mustard's fine, but they're, again, about a quarter cup. Everything is about a quarter of a cup.
Okay.
So if you want to increase that at all, then you could go up to a half a cup or whatever. I basically like using the plastic bags because everything's there when you're done. You know, you can throw it away on there.
Yeah. Now I see breadcrumbs. What are those about?
We're going to do Sicilian steak.
Okay.
Another thing a lot of people don't realize on Sicilian steak is the fact that I went ahead and oiled these on the bottom. I used olive oil. All right. I used Sicilian breadcrumbs, regular breadcrumbs that you can get. You can use your own breadcrumbs if you like. But I went ahead and oiled this. Now all I'm going to do is really, now if you'd like to, you could go ahead and add some more pepper on there or whatever you'd like. But you bread it. A lot of people do not realize.
And you can grill them that way?
You can grill them that way. And I'll show you the done product on there. But a lot of people do not realize that you can use breading on the grill. And that's one thing, even from the people from the Food Network, are really surprised that we do breading fish, chicken, that type of thing.
It's going to give it a really nice
crust. I'll show you really how that comes out with on the crustwise on there. Here's, as you can see, I got them on both sides.
And here's our one that we've got the crust on it.
Right, I got the crust on it. The same thing with on this. This I pretty much overdid it on that side. I'll show you on this side. I'll go on this side here. Just to show you how that browns up. You got a little caramelization, obviously, on the outside on there, where the fat was at. But here's the bourbon steak. Now, what I did on the bourbon steak is I used chuck eye steaks.
Yeah, right away when I saw that, I'm like, what is that?
It's sort of right next to the ribeye in a way. You see them at the market all the time.
Are they tender? Because when I think of that, I think chuck roast.
Yeah, it's very tender. I think it's a big secret that I especially like using this on the bourbon steaks.
Look at all the marble
times, but you got you got the fat in there. I mean, for guys' sakes, you know, they're trying to make us lean all the time on there, but you got the fat in there. Obviously, these you get anywhere from I think of this I got for like $5.49
So they're cheap.
Very reasonable. And that's my type of budget. I'm a cheap type of guy. I'm just cheap.
Nothing wrong with
but
that.
I like the chuck eyes. You know, you could grill them up. There again, if you want to, back on these, if you want to marinate it, a little oil, jalapeno peppers on there, a little spicy barbecue sauce or hot sauce. We'll marinate that. That
And they're
comes out
called
really good.
chuck steaks.
Yep, chuck eye.
Chuck eye steaks.
Chuck eye steaks.
But marinating them is probably key to get them a little
Right,
more tender.
right,
Now,
right.
overnight or just a few hours, the
I
same
do
thing?
it a few hours, but you know, I'm going to show you one real quick thing that's just so stupid, but it's really easy to do. And that is on potatoes. I got some baked potatoes. Obviously, all what I did was I just went ahead and wrapped this in foil.
Yep, you bet.
Thank
I
you.
got
I
her.
can't.
I got her.
You got it.
So-
and what I did was I sliced the potato in half. All right.
Okay.
And then I just put a bay leaf in this there. You could use any type of herbs that
Pretty.
you want.
You are
But,
fancy.
Oh, I'll tell you, styling today, baby.
Ooh.
You could use that. Comes out really good. Sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on there. And it comes
Oh,
out
I
great.
mean, that's impressive, too.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
really good. Garlic's in there. Chives are good, too.
Love it. Great
All right,
to see
hey,
you.
thanks, Amy.
Fun stuff today. Recipes are on our website.